What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I just got back from bike week and I have a lot I want to get off my chest, but I want to start by saying this is not a personal attack on any one individual. I hope you don't take it that way, but I want to air some grievances with the motorcycle community. So as I said, I just got back from Daytona, had a really good time, did some really cool stuff, but I also attended a few bike shows. And in doing so, I saw some of the most amazing motorcycles that I've ever seen in my entire life, pushing probably in the six-figure range of building a bike. And that's where I want to start, is using the term my build. So a lot of people are throwing that term around, hey, check out my build, this is my build. And I have a little bit of a problem with that, and that's because when I was growing up, I watched guys like Billy Lane, Jesse James, real bike builders build bikes. Now, when I say build bikes, I mean there was nothing. There was an empty motorcycle lift, and that's where it started. They would build the frame, they would build the sheet metal, build the gas tanks, the fenders. Pretty much all they're not building is the tires, the motor, and the transmission, and even those, a lot of times those guys are putting those together to their personal preference. So to me, that's what a bike builder is, and that's what a built bike is. Now, when I say I'm not taking shots at anyone individually, keep in mind I am lumping myself into this group that I am about to target and attack in this video. The simple fact is a lot of us aren't building shit. So I use my bike as a prop, for one, because I think it looks good, but two, so I can use this as an example. So this is a bike, Softail standard, that you can buy off the Harley Davidson showroom floor with an MSRP of $15,000. Now this bike has an additional $16,000 added to that price. And at the end of the video, we'll talk about this thing is finding a new home, and it could be in your garage. Stick around for that. But point being is, I look at this bike and, you know, it's got a crazy big motor build, you know, it's got a lot of stuff done to it. And when I look at it, let's look at what I've done. So I put on the bars and risers, so the turn signals all internally wired and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, plug and play. I threw the headlight on there, but the motor I did not build myself. I didn't put the wheels on, you know, SMT sent me some sick wheels for this thing. I put the seat on. I put these little saddlebags on. I took my pegs off, had them powder coated. I put that engine guard on. The point being, I didn't really build anything. What I did was what I call playing Legos. I took parts that are made to go on this motorcycle, some of them not so much, but made to go on bikes in general, and made them work on this bike. I didn't fabricate anything. I didn't reinvent anything. I didn't do anything groundbreaking, and neither have you. Pretty much all the bikes I saw were road glides, a few lowrider STs that are all doing the same stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, and this is definitely no shade at these companies. Clearly, Öhlins, I'm a big fan, and I do think they are the best in the industry, but every performance build has to have Öhlins. Not because Öhlins is the best, but because you and I see those gold piggyback shocks that look so cool on the back of all those builds, and we know that's expensive. That's why people are doing it, and I know that for a fact because I asked a few people what settings they were running, and that was a trick question because I knew they're not even taking the time to set up the suspension. So you're spending $6 to $8 grand on the front end if you do full Öhlins inverted. You're spending, you know, whatever it is now, $1,000 bucks, $1,500 bucks, I don't even know anymore, on the piggyback shocks, and you're not even setting it up for your weight and your riding style. You're just putting it on there for the clout. Same thing could be said with HPI pipes. Name the companies. We're all basically picking from about 3 to 4 different companies when it comes to risers, exhaust, suspension, you name it. There are 3 or 4 companies. We're all taking our pick, and then we throw a different paint job on there and we say, oh, look at my bike, look how unique it is. Now, I personally am more into the performance scene, and that's another gripe I have is we build these bikes, you know, all performance based, ready for the track. Ain't nobody tracking their bike except for Steve Chamberlain. We do have to stop this video in its tracks to give that dude a shout out. I'm gonna throw his bike up on the video right now. So this dude built this thing, raced it in Bagger Racing League. I didn't know this at the time, but when I saw this bike at the show, it was blown up because he rode it so hard to the show. That's a dude that's really about that life, and I can respect that, but I don't really know, although I think they're cool, why we're building 180 horsepower bikes with race suspension, race transmissions, race everything, and you're only racing red light to red light. It's silly to me. And I'm a big fan of do it because it makes you happy. But let's be honest about why we're doing it. And I see a lot of guys that are 300 plus pounds running around with fully carbon fiber bikes. Now don't get me wrong, I am a big fan of carbon fiber, and if you're just doing it because you think it looks sick, I'm on board for that, but ain't nobody saving any weight when you're 300 plus pounds on a 800 pound motorcycle. It's silly, it looks cool, and again, I am a fan of it. Don't get it twisted. I do like it, I think it looks good. Some of my favorite bikes at the show had carbon all over them. But the point I'm trying to make in this video is I personally am bored of it. I'm completely bored. That was another reason that I wanted to start with the Softail Standard is I didn't really see anybody building them, at least not to this level. But it is time to find it a home, not because I don't like it anymore, not because I don't think it's cool anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty damn sad to let this thing go, but I want to do something different. I want to do something I haven't seen anybody done on a bike that I haven't seen anybody do it on, and it's not new, I'll give you that much. But this thing's going to find a home, and the way that it's going to find a home, I'm going to be selling a digital photo of this bike for $100. They will be limited to 250 photos. So you buy a digital photo for $100, you can buy as many photos as you want, and one of those people will win this bike. All the details are going to be on my Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, I don't care. I can't bend over backwards to accommodate anybody. Get on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Blair_Snipes. If you don't already follow me there, all the details to possibly pick this thing up for $100 will be there. Here's a very, very quick rundown of what's been done to it. So your wheels are from SMT. They are some of the best wheels I've ever seen. They are performance wheels, so they are super, super lightweight. SMT rotors that match, SMT pulley that matches the wheels. So just that whole set is, I want to say it's pushing like $6 grand just for your wheels. I just put some Shinko 777s on there. Yes, they wear out fast. There's less than 500 miles on those tires right now, but they are super sticky, and that's what you need on this bike because they're the only tires I've found that'll hook. So this motor is a built 128. I'll go into the specifics on Instagram on all the internals that have gone into that, but it's currently putting out 145 horsepower, 142 foot-pounds of torque. Also, on the front of this thing, we have Baja Designs headlight, we have Baja Designs turn signals, Roland Sands sector risers and gauge relocation, which I haven't seen a lot of people do. For one, it's fairly new. For two, they are probably the most expensive risers on the market, but I thought they looked dope. You've got a motocross style handlebar, motocross style grips, saddleman seat, thrashing bags that I will leave on the back of this bike. They're the essentials, and I'll warn you, that's literally all they're for is the essentials. You ain't fitting much in those babies. So I also have a handlebar bag from Thrashing on there that I'll be leaving as well. You're running a Two Brothers exhaust. The engine guard with the skateboard wheels is from Santoro Fabworks. This bike is really set up and ready to go. You could throw a fairing on there. I had a small fairing at one time, ended up taking it off. Kind of dig it without it, but there's tons of options for that. So as you see this bike right now, the only things that'll come off when it leaves my possession is the quad lock phone mount, which I highly recommend you get if you don't have. Shameless plug, I'll make a little bit of money, you'll save a little bit of money. Link down in the description. And I'll also be taking the number off the side of the battery cover right there just because that's my personal motocross number. It's on all my bikes and I don't want to send it out with somebody else having that number. It doesn't mean anything to you and it means a lot to me. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching the entire video. Please leave a comment. Let me know, do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you tired of seeing this? Can you not wait to build a road glide because it's never been done and it's going to be revolutionary? Nobody's ever seen a road glide like yours before. Am I just becoming a salty, bitter old man? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Check out my Instagram. I'll link it down in the description so you can find out the details on how to possibly get this bike for $100 shipped to you. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.